Instagram has featured a South African in its global #ShareBlackStories campaign, focusing on stories that aim to celebrate blackness from the voice of creators. Nikiwe Dlova, a hair art and headpiece creative who goes by the name Nyx Indamix, is the only South African content creator featured in this series. Her head-turning works of hair art are a celebration of black women's hair and an expression of pride and freedom. The artist will take this opportunity to show South Africans and Instagram's global audience how she derives joy from the work, and she joins us now this morning to share more. Nikiwe, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you so much. Morning.
First of all, Nikiwe, how do you decide on what content to create, and why hair art?
I think it starts with me. I love expressing myself through my hair. So I just saw a gap in people not expressing themselves through their hair, especially in a creative way. So I just thought I might as well just grow that hair art love for it, and just show to people,
And how did you hear about the Instagram global #ShareBlackStories campaign? Did they approach you perhaps, or did you just submit your art to them?
They approached me. They sent me an email and they asked me to be featured on the series.
Okay, so what's required from you for this campaign then?
Just to share my story, about Black joy through hair art. So different creatives were featured depending on what their creativity is, and they just needed to show that through that. So for me, because I always work with hair art, so I just wanted to share Black joy through hair art.
Let's hear your story. What does your story encapsulate?
My story, I said Black joy for me is confidence, is creativity, it's culture as well. So I just played around hair through fashion, through identity, and just showed that Black joy through that.
Okay, and do discuss the vital role of black storytellers globally in shifting the narrative on hair and beauty through the art.
I think now people are getting more confident with their hair and just expressing it. I think it's very vital for people to share their stories so that people can be inspired and motivated, and so that they know that they're not alone, So I think it's very vital to just share Black stories, and to also people to share about their hair experiences, because I think we've all gone through the same things. So also it's okay to be different. I just wanted to share that story, that it's okay to be different. So how do you determine the style, the tone, and the manner you deliver your art? It depends, really. It depends with the story that I'm trying to tell, or it could be an idea that I've had for a while and I just want to share with people. It's just really, it depends on how I'm feeling, or what inspires me at that certain point. But it always leads to being African and being creative and also being colorful.
And has your content been critiqued in the past? And if so, how so?
But not as much. I think people often don't understand what I do sometimes. Maybe the hairstyles might be too drastic for them, but people don't understand that there's hairstyles for like every day, and then there's hairstyles for like editorial. Maybe they'll be like, how do you sleep with that hair? Maybe if I do something drastic, and I'm like, no, this is just for editorial. I'm going to take it off now. But I haven't gotten that much critique.
Sure. This is certainly a very important conversation that we should be having. So how is social media driving these conversations?
Social media, I guess, people engage, people ask questions, and I think people on social media are more open to asking more questions and just to understand the body of work. And I've realized that people want to know more details when you post about something, especially something conceptual. So I think it's very important to have a story behind what you do, because people are always going to ask questions or references or what inspired your work. So I always make sure that whatever I create, I just share with people what inspires it. And if they want to ask more questions, I just engage with them. But yeah, social media, I think it's more engaging when it comes to conceptual concepts.
Yeah, it certainly is engaging, but just how powerful is social media in communicating a message or promoting your work specifically?
Yeah, it's very important, because whatever you put out there, there's so many people globally that are going to see it. So I think it's important to be clear of what your message is, because you're not only reaching the South African market, but you're also reaching like the global market. So that's why I was so happy when Instagram approached me, because now I get to share my story with the whole world. So yeah, it's very vital. Yeah.
So what makes content successful? I mean, how do you measure its success and the kind of impact it has on people?
Yeah, I think relatable content makes it more successful, because at least people can engage with it. And also, I think even if it's different, people can still engage with it, because that's when now they're more curious about your work and what you do. So I think, yeah, those two things, relatability and something different that people don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that point on relatability and how people can relate to your content, and the content that you create celebrates, blackness and black women. So what is the greatest pleasure of your work and subject that you choose to focus on?
What is this? Sorry, I didn't get the question.
The greatest pleasure of your work and the subject that you chose to focus on.
I think for me, the greatest pleasure is people just sharing their experiences with me when it comes to hair, because as I said, like, it's more relatable with hair. We all have hair, and as women, we go through the same things more or less when it comes to hair. So for me, that's the greatest pleasure, just to hear people's stories, like for them to share it with me. And people will message me and tell me that they're inspired by my work, and they also want to be more creative with their hair and just get out of their comfort zones. So yeah, so that gives me so much joy that people are willing to try different things when it comes to their hair and just be different and not be scared of the society or what everybody is going to say. Yeah.
All right. Nikiwe, keep up the good work. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for chatting to us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we just spoke to Nikiwe Dlova, a hair art and headpiece creative. She's chosen by Instagram to showcase her artwork for its global #ShareBlackStories campaign.